I'm honored to be with you today at your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. I never graduated from college. Truth be told, this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it, no big deal, just 3 stories. This isn't my commencement speech. It's actually the famous Steve Jobs commencement speech, the one that he gave to Stanford's class of 2005. The same speech that continues to be one of the most inspiring commencement addresses even after 15 years. Hello, I'm Danish, CEO and co-founder of Ori, a speech coach in your pocket, and today's video is all about top commencement speeches. Before we dive into them, let's quickly talk about what is a commencement speech. Commencement is basically the ceremony in which degrees or diplomas are conferred upon graduating students. Hence, a commencement speech or address is a speech given to graduating students, generally at a university, usually with the aim of inspiring them to achieve their dreams or embark on their new journeys with confidence and faith. Several institutions have celebrities, politicians, actors, entrepreneurs as their commencement speakers to inspire the graduating class. I genuinely think that a good commencement speech can be just the push you need to start your journey after college, if not a lot. I'm sure the commencement address at my ceremony at Drexel University surely gave me a little jolt of motivation. The word commencement can be a little confusing as it's the speech given at the graduation and can often be mixed up. But the idea is simply that the graduates are commencing a new journey. As graduates with a bachelor's or master's degree, they will enjoy new benefits and knowledge, hence the word commencement. Now, without further ado, let's talk about some of my all-time favorite commencement speeches and why. The first one on the list has to be Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech 2005 titled "Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish." Because when one of the greatest minds in the tech world tells you 3 stories, you listen. This speech uses the technique of rhetoric and anecdotes to inspire and tell the graduating class to find and do something they love. He starts by pointing out the irony of the speech being the closest he came to graduation, to grab everyone's interest. He then goes on to talk about 3 stories from his life that he learned from. Stories about connecting the dots, love and loss, and finally death. Within 15 minutes, he gives 3 invaluable lessons from his life, and that's what makes his commencement address so great. The next speech I'd like to talk about is the Conan O'Brien commencement speech at Dartmouth College, June 12, 2011. Why do I think it's a great commencement speech? Because it's funny, hilarious almost, and yet inspirational. It's relatable and it makes you chuckle every now and then. Take these lines from the speech for example.
But don't get me wrong, I take my task today very seriously. When I got the call 2 months ago to be your speaker, I decided to prepare with the same intensity many of you have devoted to an important term paper. So late last night, I began.
It just hits the right spot. As a college student, last-minute preparations are a rather common occurrence, ask me. You'll also notice that he speaks rather swiftly, but his words are still clear. So it's important to understand your pace. You can evaluate your speech's pace and clarity using the Ori app, so download it right away. Now, on to the next favorite. Jim Carrey's commencement speech at Maharishi University of Management's class of 2014. I mean, come on. How could this one not be funny?
What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying, I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. Please. And if it doesn't happen for you right away, it's only because the universe is so busy fulfilling my order. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
This one is a favorite because Carrey isn't just funny, but in fact, he's talking about profound topics with jokes in order to make the students comfortable. He's witty, charming, sarcastic, and yet motivational. It's this tactic that makes the speech such a memorable one. If you notice, you'll also see how being a popular comedian, he takes pauses for a joke to land instead of rushing to speak. hence making the speech well-timed as well. Now, let's talk about the legendary Lou Holtz commencement speech, the one that he gave to the class of 2015 at Franciscan University of Steubenville. In the introduction, he says,
I'm not going to preach to you, I'm not going to lecture to you, I'm going to talk about things I believe and the experiences I shared. I'm not going to talk about something I read about or heard about. These are things I believe. And understand this, I've been 21, you've never been 78. So.
He clearly states that he'll only talk about what he knows and share that, only his experiences, thus making the speech personal and full of wisdom. But he doesn't just tell his story, he connects and engages the audience with his witty remarks. In fact, he chooses to step away from the lectern, move around on the stage, and totally owns it. Are you with me till now? Great, on to our last speech for this video. This is Water, the commencement speech at Kenyon College in 2005 by David Foster Wallace. He starts his speech with a fictional story that ends with a fish saying, "What the hell is water?" How can you not be interested, right? His speech is celebrated because it connects. It is tailored to tell the graduating class of liberal arts about the value of liberal arts, a field that's often overlooked. He uses simple, informal dialogues like "I'm sure you guys know by now" over complex ones to establish familiarity, and that's what makes his speech wonderful. What distinguishes a good commencement from a great commencement speech? It's not what you say, but how you say it. If you notice, one thing that's common in all these speeches, apart from the wisdom, anecdotes, and wit, is the spectacular delivery. I'm sure you'd like to hear them all. So don't worry, we're attaching all these impactful speeches in the description box below. So don't just take my word for it, hear them out for yourself and get inspired like I was. Still looking for more information, speeches, and ideas? We have several other videos to help you. But before that, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got more awesome and informative content around public speaking, communications, and other tips and tricks for you in the box that we put out every Friday. We'd also love for you to leave all your questions and suggestions in the comments below.